Listen, this year, 2026, isn't a year to keep doing the same things over and over again. It's not a year to live like you're on autopilot, letting your life just happen to you without any real purpose. This is the year for you to rise up, rebuild yourself, and reconnect with that version of yourself that's always been inside you, just waiting to be heard. This is your year to become a woman who inspires people just by being herself, who attracts good things from a place of truth, and who respects herself through what she does every single day. Today, I'm going to share 6 really valuable hobbies with you. These are designed to make your mind stronger, feed your emotions, lift your spirit, and change your energy completely. These aren't just simple activities to pass time. They're actually tools that will help you become more confident, more centered, and more powerful as a woman. Let's jump right in. A woman who truly values herself understands something really important. Her mind is her greatest tool for transformation. And just like any valuable tool, it needs to be fed, trained, and expanded. That's exactly why reading is one of the most valuable hobbies you can start in 2026. But I'm not talking about reading just anything that comes your way. I'm talking about reading things that build you up, that give you structure, that wake up your awareness and remind you of who you really are. When you dedicate just 15 to 20 minutes each day to reading books about personal growth, understanding feminine psychology, knowing your identity, setting healthy boundaries, feminine energy, controlling your emotions, and healing yourself, you're not just changing the way you think. You're transforming how you see life and how you actually live it. Because here's the thing. When you change your mind, everything else changes. When you understand how your inner world actually works, you know exactly how to protect it. When you know your worth, you know exactly how to show it. When you understand your patterns, you know exactly how to break them. A woman who reads regularly develops a mind that's clearer, more organized, and more aware. She learns to make better choices, to respond with emotional intelligence instead of just reacting, and not to fall into those same cycles that used to drain all her energy. Reading opens doors inside you. It shows you paths you didn't even know existed. It reveals truths that were often buried under noise, stress, or just daily routine. On top of that, reading makes your view of yourself stronger. It helps you truly know yourself, understand your needs, your boundaries, your wounds, and your strengths. And once a woman really knows herself, nobody can manipulate her. Nobody can confuse her. Nobody can make her doubt her value. That's exactly why this hobby is so incredibly powerful. It makes you a more aware, more intentional woman, someone who's more aligned with her best version. And I want to remind you of something really important here. It's not about reading just for the sake of reading. It's not about collecting books or counting pages. It's about reading what builds you up, choosing words that actually transform you, allowing that knowledge to become action, habits, and new decisions that bring you closer to the woman you want to be. Make reading a daily ritual in your life. It doesn't matter if it's 10 pages, 1 chapter, or just a few thoughts. What matters is that every single day, you're planting a seed of wisdom inside yourself. Because a woman who's truly thriving doesn't just look good on the outside. She thinks well. She doesn't just feel things, she understands them. She doesn't just exist, she grows. Reading doesn't change you overnight, but it changes you forever. Make it part of your life this year, 2026, and you'll notice how your mind, your energy, and your decisions become stronger, firmer, and more aligned with your true purpose. Are you ready to become your best version? Now, conscious movement isn't just an exercise routine. It's actually a way of coming back to yourself. Too many women go through life completely disconnected from their own bodies. They're tense, stiff, inflamed, carrying stress, stored emotions, and this constant feeling of being tired all the time. And it's not because they don't work out. It's because they don't actually live in their bodies. That's why conscious movement, things like pilates, yoga, stretching, and guided breathing, become such a high-value hobby. It's not about losing weight or changing how you look to fit someone else's idea of beautiful. It's about feeling present in your own body again. It's about getting back that sacred connection between your mind, your emotions, and your muscles. When you practice conscious movement, your breathing becomes softer. Your shoulders drop down. Your posture corrects itself without you even forcing it. Your nervous system calms down. It becomes a space that allows you to release tension, anxiety, an emotional weight that you often didn't even know you were carrying around. A woman who truly values herself understands that her feminine energy shows up in her softness, her flow, her ability to move with calm and confidence. And that energy wakes up when you give your body the care it actually needs. Pilates makes you strong from the inside out. Yoga centers you and brings you balance. Stretching gives you flexibility and relief. Breathing anchors you right here in this present moment. Dedicate 15 to 30 minutes each day to this hobby. You don't need expensive equipment or some extreme routine. You only need some space, some quiet, and willingness. You'll see how in just a few days, your mind feels lighter, your emotions feel more stable, and your body feels more alive. Conscious movement is also a way to practice loving yourself, because when you take care of your body, you're sending a really powerful message to your mind. The message is this: I deserve to feel good. I deserve to be at peace. This type of movement doesn't try to exhaust you. It tries to balance you. It doesn't try to demand everything from you. It tries to reconnect you. It doesn't try to pressure you. It tries to free you. Remember this. Your body is your temple. It's the home where your soul, your energy, and your purpose live. If you treat it with love, it will give that love back to you in the form of well-being, emotional health, and a presence that's more powerful and more feminine. Make conscious movement a daily ritual, and you'll discover a version of yourself that's softer, more confident, lighter, and deeply connected to who you really are. Now, fasting and prayer aren't empty religious practices. They're actually deep tools for inner transformation. They're the kind of spiritual practice that brings you back to your center when life becomes all noise, distractions, confusing emotions, or heavy decisions. That's why I say this is your anchor, your balance, and your strength as a woman. Fasting doesn't just mean you stop eating for a few hours. It means you're reminding your mind who's actually in control. It's consciously choosing to control your impulses, your cravings, your automatic habits, and that need for immediate satisfaction that often disconnects you from your purpose. When you control your body, you control your life. When you choose to say no for a while to the physical, you open up space to say yes to the spiritual, to the deep things, to what truly feeds your soul. Fasting makes your discipline stronger. It makes you more aware. It calms your anxiety. It helps you separate what you feel from what you actually need. It shows you that you're stronger than you think and that you have a level of self-control you maybe weren't even using before. Prayer, on the other hand, is your direct line to guidance, clarity, peace, and strength that no person and no situation can give you. Praying isn't about repeating words. It's about surrendering, being grateful, asking for direction, and receiving peace. It's that moment where your mind gets quiet, your heart aligns, and your spirit gets stronger. A woman who prays and fasts is a woman who lives from wisdom, not from acting on impulse. She's a woman who doesn't get dragged down by outside chaos because she already has order on the inside. She's a woman whose energy changes. She becomes more calm, more present, more centered, more firm. Her presence becomes powerful because it comes from a deep spiritual place, not from how she looks or what others think of her. Practicing short fasts, maybe one morning, a few hours, or one meal is a good way to start. And combining it with just 5 to 10 minutes of daily prayer creates a spiritual habit that supports you, cleanses you, renews you, and reminds you of your purpose. Your spiritual clarity is going to become your greatest advantage this year, 2026. Because while so many people are living lost, just reacting to everything, repeating old patterns, and looking for answers outside themselves, you'll be making your inner world stronger, sharpening your intuition, and building a constant connection with God, with your essence, and with the woman you're meant to be. Make this hobby a ritual. Make fasting a discipline. Make prayer a safe place. And you'll see how your life starts to line up in ways that seemed impossible before. A spiritual woman is an unstoppable woman. Learning a classic feminine skill isn't an old-fashioned thing or some social rule you have to follow. It's actually a gift you give yourself. In a world where everything is fast, digital, shallow, and automatic, these skills become like a sanctuary, a conscious pause, and a way to reconnect with your essence. When a woman decides to learn something that requires delicacy, art, patience, and attention to detail, something inside her changes. Her energy becomes softer. Her creativity wakes up. Her self-esteem gets stronger in a way that very few activities can do. These skills, things like healthy cooking, fine baking, flower arranging, sewing, embroidery, painting, they're not just chores around the house or meaningless hobbies. They're expressions of conscious femininity. They're ways of showing beauty, presence, intention, and self-care. Because a woman who values herself doesn't only transform her inner life, she also transforms the spaces she touches. Fine baking is a perfect example. It's not just mixing ingredients together. It's a ritual. It's precision, sensitivity, and patience. It's creating something beautiful from nothing without rushing, enjoying the process, and honoring your time. Flower arranging, on the other hand, wakes up your connection to natural beauty. You learn to balance colors, textures, and shapes. You understand how something simple can instantly change the energy of your home. Flowers speak a quiet language. They speak of femininity, presence, and softness. Healthy cooking lifts your energy from the inside. You don't cook because you have to. You cook to nourish yourself, to honor your health, to care for your body. Every dish you prepare with intention becomes an act of loving yourself. Sewing and embroidery connect you with your patience, your focus, and your inner creativity. They let you create something unique, detailed, and delicate, something only your hands can make. It's a practice that's meditative, healing, and deep. Painting, for its part, releases emotions. It wakes up inspirations. It allows you to express what your mind sometimes doesn't know how to say with words. Painting is channeling your energy, your feelings, and your inner world into something you can see and touch. What's powerful about these skills is that they train both your mind and your spirit. They teach you to be patient, to pay attention to details, to focus, to enjoy creating, and to build beauty with your own hands. And when a woman creates, she heals. When a woman transforms what she touches, she transforms herself. When a woman develops feminine skills, her energy becomes magnetic, soft, and confident. That's why you should choose one skill and dedicate at least 1 hour each week to it. Not to impress other people, not to prove anything, but to tell yourself this: I am creating, I am growing, I am developing my femininity from within. You'll be surprised at how this habit lifts your emotional state, strengthens your identity, and makes you feel more connected to yourself. The simple fact of seeing something created by your own hands will remind you that you have power, talent, and beauty to give. Comment below which of these feminine skills you'd like to learn in 2026. Healthy cooking, fine baking, flower arranging, sewing, embroidery, or painting. Write your choice and tell me why you want to develop it. I'll be reading your comments and responding to help you on this journey. Strong women feel things, but they manage those feelings. It's not about stopping yourself from feeling. It's about learning to direct your emotions instead of letting them direct you. Managing your emotions is one of the most powerful skills a woman who values herself can develop, because it decides how you respond to life, how you connect with other people, and how you build your inner peace. And one of the simplest, most practical, and most transformative ways to strengthen that skill is journaling, which just means writing. That's it. Taking a notebook and allowing yourself to put on paper what your mind sometimes doesn't know how to organize and what your heart has needed to express for a long time. When you write, you listen to yourself. When you listen to yourself, you understand yourself. And when you understand yourself, you heal. Taking just 5 minutes each day to write what you feel, what you want, what you think, and what you need is an act of self-love. It doesn't have to be perfect, poetic,